Niajiwa se. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hustle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Too mucky too. Niajiwa se. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hustle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Too mucky too.
Hello and good evening. This is Beacon of Hope, our very, very special Friday edition of Beacon of Hope. I am your host tonight, Councillor Elizabeth Kang'ethe, Mrs. Bishop BK, and we did promise that we are coming back. We are back here and we are excited to be hosting you once again. We are excited to have our program once again. And I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you logging in and again following us on our YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope Beacon. And thank you so much to all the many people who are subscribing every new day and the people who are coming up with different topics. And you know what? I am here. This program is for you. This program is where we learn, we inspire, we motivate as much as we can. And I bring different topics from politics to lifestyles to students to young people to young mothers, any topic that you'd like us to discuss. And I do try to bring experts because I am not an expert. I could be. Ask me about politics, ask me about education as much as I can. But the different topics that I bring, I try and invite experts, people who can come and talk to us, motivators, teachers, elevate us from one level to another for the glory of God. And tonight, Karibu Jane Waroi, my sister, tonight, before I bring in my guest once again, people say by public demand, because there's been a lot of domestic violence and some of it goes unnoticed. And for some of the communities, it's a norm. They're not allowed to speak about it. They just suffer silently. They have decided they're not going to talk about it. And so eventually we even find people going suicidal. You find people having depression. You find people even just marriages not working, but we do not understand why. And people live in denial. And remember, when we talk about domestic violence, we said we are advocating for healthy relationships. We're not talking about women only. Men are also suffering, and they're suffering in silence. They don't want to say it. Just because, one, they don't want people to think they're weak. They don't want people, the cultures don't allow. But we've decided it's good to come out and talk about this so that we can help somebody who could be suffering. One thing I want to assure you, there is hope out there. There is help out there. Do not just sit there, suffer. There's help. Seek for help. And if you want in total confidence, yes, it's possible. Because some people fear, I don't want people knowing that I've been suffering. I don't want my family. I don't want my children. I don't want to ruin my marriage. It's already ruined when you are suffering, when you are depressed. So please, can I kindly ask, before I bring my guest tonight once again for part 2 of advocating for healthy relationships, can I kindly ask you, just like I am doing, because right now that's what I'm doing, can I request you to share, invite, go to my YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope Beacon. Please like us, subscribe, and click on that bell so that next time I'm here, you know that I'm here and you can join me. I am so excited to be once again hosting the lady we hosted last week. And you know what? I was told by public demand, we want her back. And you know what? I don't have a choice. Yes, I did that. Good evening, Kate Edwards. Good evening, my dear. That's my niece. And my special guest. Yes, my niece, Kate. We love you, darling. We love you. That's my niece who just lost her mom a few months ago. And I'm so happy to see you here, Kate. You know that. I can see my friend Judy Gaish. Oh, how is my friend getting on? And all of you, June Waloy, I can see you there. I can see my daughter Angel Sunshine. I can see, obviously, my darling who is behind the mics, helping me. And please, 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 can I kindly ask you, share, invite somebody. That is what I am doing right now. As you see me looking down, I am inviting people because I would like as many people as possible to be here, to listen, to follow, to learn. Yes, I am doing right now. That's what I'm doing. Please, 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 please. Share, invite people, share, please. Let's get more people coming here. That it's not okay to say it's okay. It's not okay to go through domestic violence and think it's okay. No. There is hope. Our guest last week, just to recap, you can remember, she did all her best. She has tried even to salvage her marriage. It started off so well. A very happy marriage. Very happy indeed, she says. You know, thinking it's all about love. But during courtship, she said there were some red signals that she ignored. Little did she know this is what is going to turn out. And by the time she finished last week, where everybody wanted to hear the next bit, is where she found herself unconscious in hospital and what happens after that. But she has recovered, and I'm so glad, and I thank God for her life, because that is why she has decided, I'm not going to keep this to myself anymore. I want to speak up. I want to help somebody. I want to come out in the open. I'm not the guest. I was saying all this so that you can invite people. Once again, this is Beacon of Hope Beacon, our program, your show, our talk show. And tonight, once again, we have Advocating for Healthy Relationships, Part 2, by my beautiful lady, my sister, my friend, Abby. And remember, that was not her original name. She decided to give herself a facelift, a new name, a new lease of life. And she's a happy lady now, bringing up her kids. But before she got to that, she's going to share, just briefly recap. Then we bring my guest, and kindly please share and invite. Hello, my dear. How are you? And good evening.
Hi.
Good to see you.
To have us here.
To have you. Yes. It's good to always have you a second time, and people are looking forward. People are excited. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm cool.
Good. Now, I've done a bit of intro just for those people who are not with us last week. So I've done just a bit, so that people can know who is this guest. Why is Counselor talking about healthy relationship? What is there what is lacking? Would you like to briefly reintroduce yourself and say briefly why we are here and what you've gone through? Just take it on from there, please, my dear.
Good evening, viewers. I welcome you here. I thank you, all of you, for turning up. I thank my host, and I thank God. And I'm honored. I'm honored and humbled to be here. Yeah. Oh, so my name's Abby Mombi, not born as such, made as such. I am a registered nurse by background. And apart from that, I'm a lecturer at the moment in one of the universities in UK. I am an author of a book entitled More Than Just a Face. There's a story behind that. And I'm a mother of 4. 3 are with me and 1 is with the Lord. And I thank God for everything. And why I'm here is I am a domestic violence survivor, like literally. And by the grace of God, I live to tell the tale. And that is what I'm doing. I'm telling the tale. I'm not here to talk as per se about domestic violence. That's the background, because we are here now. but I'm here to advocate for healthy relationships.
Yes.
Because relationship is everything. It can make you, or it can break you, and it can finish you, or it can bring out the very best in you. So I think there is cause for us to work towards a healthy relationship. Just a brief background. There is the toxic relationship all the way on this negative side. And the continuum is moving this way to a healthy relationship. I always do, there is no perfect relationship.
I want to hear that again.
Yeah.
There is no
perfect relationship.
Go ahead.
It is work to be done. So it's upon us to look in our relationships in this line, in this continuum, where we are. Are we far on the side of toxicity, or are we towards health relationship? And what are we doing about it, or what are we gonna do about it?
I love that bit. There's no healthy relationship when people start off. It's you. There's a lot of work to do. When these are two strangers who have met, two adults who have come from totally different backgrounds, yet they want to be compatible. Though people say that people are compatible by the time they get married, we've got all the differences. I've not been married for a long time, but I know that. You got to work on it. You got to try, and some of us bring down your ego. There's a lot for each one of us to do so that you come to an equilibrium, you know?
Yes.
There is a lot to be done. So briefly, very, very briefly for the new people, can you tell us just a bit of what you went through? You know, just quickly, you don't have to revisit everything. You came from Nairobi, you went to just touching bits, because I can see new people here.
Okay, new people, I welcome you. Join us. I'll do a quick recap so that we are working together.
Yes.
And my own story started as a love story, as most will do. And that is what we miss, because when we think about this thing, we think out of context. We think, we forget that it is within a family, is within a loving relationship.
Yes.
So that complicates it, because if you are in a situation and there's no that complication, you can easily walk out. Kiora can easily jump out. But this is not the case. The context is different, and it is deep. As Mrs. Bishop is saying, people meet and then they start working together. And the aim is actually to become one. And if you see people who have lived for a very long time together, they will almost look alike. Because they have become one.
Yes.
But imagine you are one now. How do you quickly tear yourself away? And who are you after all? Who are you now? So my own case happened over 11 years.
Yeah.
And there were factors that sustained me there. I would not like us to ignore those, but I would like us to have that background, that there are things going on in the background that sort of keep you there. And it was violent almost from the word go.
Yes. I
had the lights beat out of me when my son was 3 months old. I was just seeing the blue 50 cents, I call them, you know, the blue lights.
Yes.
And I thought we could make it, and we could make up, and we could go on, and we could still make a good thing. And that was the climate at the time. I don't believe much has changed over that time, because as I stand and as I hear, it's still happening a lot. So mine ended at the point where my beloved husband had to go and be put in a place, and I had to go to be put in a place. Specifically, he had to be put in the jail. because of the accent that he went. And I had to be put in bed in a hospital, fighting for my life. It's by the grace of God I'm here telling this, because it's actually a testimony that I even speak about it. And I was fighting for my life. I was going to the surgeries, like so many of them, and my life was turned upside down. And that the abuse was happening in 3 different countries. It was happening in Kenya, where we started. Then we moved to South. It was happening there. We were looking like the nice people who are doing well and flying out and living out and having the good life. Little did people know that behind all this niceness, death was always my shadow. Death was always my shadow. I am saying this because there are so many incidences I could have died in that I don't have the time to tell now. So I'm trying to summarize. But the worst one where we parted ways was the one I've told you.
Right. Can I kindly interject, because I've got some inbox questions. Guys, please, as you continue coming in, share, invite somebody, join us on our YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope Beacon. And if you have got any questions, I've got a few, you can DM me there, you can inbox me, or you can write them, any comments. I love your comments there. Now, some of you are wondering, if somebody has asked me, were you married? Yes, Abby, this is part 2 for those who missed, and we cannot go back because of time. We want to go. Yeah. Those of us who were here last week want to get a bit more. And Abby, because now she's doing a lot of counseling, she wants to talk to us about what she thinks she should be done, or she could have done then, or where things went wrong. Abby was married, very happily married as a young girl. She was a professional. She was in the nursing. The husband then was a guy who was doing very well in Kenya. They were living very well. Then they moved south to, was it Namibia? Botswana. They went to Botswana for 3 years. And during her courtship, Abby said she got some red flags which she ignored. She ignored that time. A few of them, even being ignored, even being rude when the husband is talking to her. She ignored. She thought, oh, it's gonna be okay. Then while she had her 3-month-old baby, he slapped her. And she thought, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna overcome it, and things continued. Then they moved from Botswana, they came back to Nairobi, and Abby decided she wants to look for greener pastures, move from Nairobi, come to UK as a nurse. Abby managed to come to UK, and she works her head off as a nurse to make sure that by then she had 3 lovely kids, back and dad at home with the husband. So Abby worked so hard, she even got a loan to bring her family to join her. And she paid the fare. She got the visas for them, and because she was already working, she thought, okay, they're coming. And because the husband, he was doing okay. He had come to Britain. He knew his way around. On the day she was expecting them, the husband arrives on his own. He goes straight to the house, and Abby wasn't prepared. She had started moving out to a bigger place where she could host them and the family. So when he came, Abby had to look for a friend where he stayed for a week or so. Then later, Abby prepares to go and see her mom, who was not well, and bring the children. She got a loan. She was bringing her children back. She thinks, okay, I'm going to bring the children. And because my husband has gotten a small job here, I'm just going to go. And they had already arranged for that. So that night, Abby comes from work. She's preparing to shower, and the following morning, she's supposed to go to the airport. That's when things happened. Abby, I would like you to briefly now take it from there. Please, that was the bit where everybody was like, oh, could he do that? I've got so many new people here. You see the way I've summarized. I've got so many new people who have said, I missed and I want to know, so that we can take it from there. Okay, you are ready. You've bought the tickets. You come from work and you are preparing to travel the following day to get your kids. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, and then he attacked me that night. Mm-hmm. And I had bad injuries. And I ended up in hospital and I didn't go to get my kids.
The hospital ended up, the flight ended up being a hospital bed. And
Yes.
I can tell you, my dears, Abby has been very strong. It wasn't that as easy as you see her telling it. She had her nose bitten off. She had her ear chopped, fingers. She found the husband with a knife and he even beat her nose. That ear has been reconstructed, and even her face, as you see, disfigured with a knife and everything. She fell down bleeding. So,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh
Be
yeah.
strong, be strong, be strong.
Yeah. He was supposed to come with my kids, and he had the money and the visas, and he made a decision not to bring the kids along a week earlier than he was supposed to come. And then he comes and I am away at the day. Later, I go and find him. He didn't owe me an explanation, so I didn't get any. It was just like, oh, just come, I'll tell you, like that. And but I would say the reason I actually went is that I couldn't have let him come back home to the children. The children were always behind. Like I had my hands tied because their safety was a priority to me. And
Of
it was
course.
becoming clear that because if in any case he can't reach me, then he could maybe use the children to torment me. And actually he used to threaten me. That is a form of abuse. A
Yes.
lot of people use the children to abuse their spouses, and others use pets. They just can use any form of cruelty. So in this case, he was trying to use my children, and he would threaten me on the phone, like, if you joke with me, you never see these kids again. And
So, Moby, those are some of the red signals that you ignored. The threats you
Forever.
thought he's only joking.
I would say I didn't think he was joking. No, I didn't think he was joking. I didn't even ignore the flags, but what could I have done?
Could you have reported this to the police here and social services?
Mama, I have gone to the police, and many people have gone to the police. It's only now this police thing is coming. It's a new thing. You went to the police and you are told to sort it at home. You went anywhere. You went to the past. No one had answers for me. No one. And the community, it wasn't just happening to me. It was happening to so many people. In fact, you went to share with a friend and you noticed that actually their situation is worse than yours. Like one personal friend told me, hey, you have seen nothing. This and this and this and this is what happened to me. And I'm thinking, at that point I had resolved this is over. But when I hear that, I'm thinking, maybe marriages actually are supposed to be like this. Maybe it's me who is impatient. Maybe it's me who is intolerant. It was serious and I was taking it serious. I have attempted to go back to my parents. I have attempted to hide. I have stayed in a refuge in Kenya. And I would like to say, I think we need to understand this thing in a deeper level than the way we do right now. Even the way we are saying Kiora Roga. Kiora Roga to where? Where are you jumping to? Like, you are living in this house with 4 kids. If you are jumping with the kids.
Of course.
You have to consider the life of the kids, your own life, and their schooling, their eating. Are you telling people to jump to the street with 3 kids? We have to think, Kiora Roga, yes, it's a good move on. At least before we used to say Omereria.
Of course, yeah.
But now we are saying Kiora Roga, but to where? So we need to consider that. The community I come from, women are not even supposed to have children in their own families. I would like to submit to you how many brothers are happy to see you coming back to your family home in tow with 6 kids, or 4, or 2, or even 1. How many fathers have given a portion and said, this, in case one of my daughter comes, she has a home. So, Kiora Roga to where?
You're so funny. Allow me to laugh because I find this so hilarious.
You can't jump to nowhere. So I am trying to bring out why people will die in there. My family was not like that, by the way. My family was not like that. Even to date, my father has given me land. I don't need it, but he has given me. And I didn't say no, because just the fact that my father's generation can think like that is something commendable. And I'm so impressed by my father, because he didn't give everything to the boys. The law now says that girls can inherit their parents.
Oh, yes.
But the very girls do not even support that. But that is how oppression works. When oppression has learned for so many years, in people, in generations, it takes the grace of God for people to see things in a different way. So yes, no, you can even be given land and say no. Because as far as you know, Counselor, land is supposed to be given to the boys.
Yes.
That is where it starts. It starts with our upbringing. It goes on solidifying. So when you go to your husband, on the day you are married, your family will buy you a bed. Because your own bed in your family home has been dismantled, you should never think of making a U-turn. So how on earth are you gonna figure that U-turn? Even if you are educated and you are empowered, you have got some economic freedom. The thing is, economic freedom will not work if you do not have social freedom.
That's true.
So the girls have gone to school now. I thank God. I did go to school, and it empowers me because I can have a salary, I can have money. But that very money, that is part of why I'll be abused without my money, because I do not have. There's a gap, a big gap between the freedoms that the girls are accorded all the way from their birth, from when you give them 4 relations, all the way to when they are married, to when they die. It is set like that. So we have set them up. I have friends who are living in sort of very, 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 very dangerous situations. And some of them tell me, because of later days, I'm
thinking of future.
I'm like,
put up with all the abuse and all
if you die, what will Matukoma
have no future.
Of course you have a grave. But Kamete is there. Well, what is it? Langata is there. I would rather live than have a 6x4 in somebody's garden.
This is so interesting, because I can even see some comments. Nyabura and Karima, she's saying the police were not helpful in those days.
They were not.
Domestic violence was considered a private affair. So anyway, this came about because I did ask you why you never reported. Now that is clear. Okay. You got all this abuse. I mean, okay, this particular night, because I kind of interjected, and that's why you've been explaining there's no help from the police. So this particular night, you are here, you're supposed to get your children. Instead of you getting your children, you ended up in hospital. So this is the bit people wanted to know. You and, there's the perpetrator. You are there, both of you. So people want to know the story from there, and then later you come to the talks.
Well, I'm there, and he says we need to sort out. I am the one who should go for the children, but these are the children he had left less than 2 weeks before. And it's not like you're going back a little walk or even a long walk, like 5 miles, and pick them up again. It's a train light.
Yeah.
And I paid for it. And now I have gone, because the money is finished, I've taken a loan, I've paid the tickets, we are talking about it all the way. And then he says, I am the one who should go for the children. I believe he didn't say that because he didn't wanted to go for the children, or it was just doing. It was just, he was on the edge and he needed a fix. Like he was leading on the edge and he needed to tip over. But I say as well that when somebody is like that and they need that event, whatever you do is gonna happen. Is gonna happen. You can keep quiet, you can shout, you can dance, you can do whatever you like, but it is going to happen at some point. That was my experience, because I knew it, and I knew when it was about to happen. But what I didn't figure is the extent of what he planned to do. And anyway, he attacked me and I had all those injuries. And yes, but I'm here now.
Wow. So there's still something you haven't said. Here you
What
are.
is it now?
The ambulance came. You're unconscious. You are in hospital. You said you found yourself. The next thing, you are on a hospital bed. What about him? We want to know.
He's taken to the police. The last time I saw him, he was in handcuffs, getting into a police van.
That is from your house now?
From our house, because it was our house. Yeah, I've never seen him again.
You've never seen him?
I have never seen him again.
How many years ago? I'm sorry to ask.
That was back in 2002.
2002?
Yeah.
Now, how long were you in hospital for?
I was in hospital for 2 weeks. And in Britain, when you're in hospital for 2 weeks, you need to be there because the beds are a problem. They usually discharge people who are very ill just because somebody else needs the bed more.
Okay, were you ever invited to court? Because now this is a court case. Were you ever invited to give the evidence of what happened? Or because obviously he cannot just be jailed before you are involved. Were you involved?
That was my worst nightmare. Thinking that at some point I'll be going to that court and have to look at him and give the evidence. The police prepared me, and the investigators for my case, they prepared me that may be so. But by the grace of God, I didn't have to go and give any evidence because he pleaded guilty.
He did?
That was one kind thing at least he did to me, for me. I didn't have to go and testify.
Yes.
Because at the time, now I can testify. In fact, now I can almost welcome the thought. But at the time, even the thought of having to go and face him in court would make me have nightmares, would make me have sleepless nights for days on end.
I know, I can imagine.
Just thinking, because of the fear that he had inflicted in me. And imagine, this is somebody I am sharing a bed with this person, but I fear
he's your lover.
What he can do.
He's meant to be your lover. He was, you know.
Let's leave the lover bit.
Of course he was. That's how you started. I mean, listen, you did tell me last week, because I did ask, how was your beginning? And you said it was beautiful love all the way, and no one would have told you not to marry him then, because you loved him and he loved you. You thought you were deeply in love then. You did say that.
That's how it started.
You cannot end up having 4 kids if you're not in love. I mean, you're sharing a bed, you are together, all these places. There was love, isn't it?
That is how it started. But I would like to submit to you and everyone here, that is not how it ended. And that is not how it was for many years. Actually, fear sustains people. Because
Really?
when you are away, you are even more fearful than when you are there.
What do you
Because
mean?
some people are still can find you and you've been threatened for years. Like, if you ever do this, I'll do this.
Hang on. I want to get this clear. So, the love bit was only a very tiny proportion of your life being together with him.
Yes.
Your life was just full of threats and threats and threats.
A lot of them. Okay, we had good moments.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to hear.
We need to understand. Okay, let me explain it.
Please do.
Let me explain it, how it works. It starts as love. For everyone, for most people, it starts as love. Of course, to agree even to make a family, it must be love.
Yes.
And then, but how do you continue loving somebody who hurts you constantly, regularly? How does that work? So no, it will, at some point, I think it was something else. But there's a lot of coercion. There is a lot of manipulation.
Manipulation,
there is a lot of mind games. And this is from someone who knows you very well.
He knows your weak points.
They know your weak points.
They know you inside out.
Love, what you like. So like, what happens a lot of times, after an event, then you get all the things you love. And there's no one who is more lovable than this person. And you are so confused. And I would also say it is not just me. Because since I got out, I've been searching and researching. And I know that that system is a trap to many. And that is why I'm here to speak about it, so that people can at least understand. Sometimes you find families are saying, my sister, I don't know what is wrong with her. You literally want to go and pick her up and uproot her from there. Even if you did that, you take her where and she'll come back. She is totally controlled. When there's a
lot of manipulation, isn't it?
A lot of manipulation. And if you are observant, you see your sister's personality changing. Somebody who was very confident, you see them now behaving like a little child. They hang on this person's every word, and they cannot think
for themselves.
Oh
my God.
They have no longer a mind of their own. You watch somebody shrinking.
Brainwashed and manipulation.
Completely brainwashed
you do not have control over your own life.
Yes.
Oh dear.
So that is the way it works. But have I answered the question?
Now, yes, somebody was asking that question, and I think she asked whether you have any idea what might have happened, what could have triggered the red lights she ignored. Did you think this man had a problem before? Did he have a mental problem? Did he have issues with his life? Did you know about his background? Because sometimes I love my sister Wamushiwa Kenyari, because they share their life, and she says her husband had problems with his upbringing. He was so bitter with his parents, and that is what he had brought into the marriage. Did you know anything about his background that could have triggered this anger?
Usually there are issues.
So did you know anything about him and his family? Because this is a bit, I remember my mom used to be always telling us that you need to know the background of those people you are dating. And do you know, and Kikuyu people say, some of them are meant for families and you need to know. So did you know this family well?
I know the family well. And I am, without discussing the family, because that is a different thing. I'm discussing me and my experience. I would like just to keep that boundary clear. But usually there are always problems. There is always something that made this person to be a power and control freak. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So there may have been things that happened traumatic issues usually, but they were never dealt with. So over time, like situations like that make somebody feel helpless, situations like make somebody feel worthless and they are not able to control. Sometimes kids have gone through a lot of problems. Some you'll find that maybe their parents abandoned them. I'm not saying this is the case. I said I'll discuss it in a general way because I don't want to discuss his family.
That's it. I understand. Yes, please.
But there are things that happen. Maybe your father abandons you and you go through suffering, you starve, you are in abject poverty, or maybe you are abused. Maybe you are abused by parents. Even that can happen.
Yes.
And it can cause, because this person, when you are in situations that make you feel worthless and make you feel helpless and nothing has been done about them, there is likelihood that we tend to repress those feelings. We tend to push those feelings into the back of our mind. And then you see somebody thriving. Maybe they go to school, they are clever, they are number one, they go to university, they get a good job, and you think this guy is solid. But that history and that trauma can come at a time when you don't expect.
Oh dear.
Because maybe somebody becomes, there are so many things that can happen, which I'm not able to really bring down in this session because it's just a quick session.
Now, we'd like to know how long it took you to bring the kids and what you did to, because I'm putting myself in your shoes, which is not possible because I said I've not gone through even a quarter or even a third of what you went through. How you've worked your way out to overcome this, because one, this comes with shame. This comes with frustration. This comes with anger. This could come with depression. This comes with a changed personality, because sometimes we think we are strong personalities, but when such a thing happens, you're thinking, how will I ever face the world? How will I ever face my family? How will I face my children? Community, how do I come out? So let's know how you got your children and what now after that, how you've come out, because I know it wasn't an overnight thing. You told me it's taken you so long to boldly think, I need to speak about this, I need to write books, I need to talk about my story. Did you suffer? Are there times when you felt like you're suffering shame and you told me that. Go on, let's hear from you.
I have gone through the whole motions. I've gone through the motions of shame and guilt. From my community, the burden of guilt is entirely on your shoulders as a woman. You have got no empathizers, you have got no sympathizers. In fact, he gets more sympathy than you, because that is the way our community see it.
I want to hear that again.
I will say it again. You come out at that point. In fact, even if you are dead, you don't get a lot of sympathizers and you don't get a lot of empathizers.
We are too judgmental.
I want to challenge you. I want to challenge everyone who is here. You don't get sympathizers. After all, you are a woman. You get, okay, and I want to separate domestic violence here. Let's just focus, because the subject is so wide. Let us focus on women. One, because the majority of people who face this thing are women, and also they are vulnerable in so many ways. So I'm not saying that it don't happen to men. In fact, when it happened to men, just so that we are in the same page, men usually don't talk about it. I wouldn't expect a Kikuyu man, is a brave Kikuyu man, you say, by the way, my wife beat me last night. Because our men are supposed to be strong and not show emotion. That is another problem by itself. but it's not for today. So when you come out, you usually come out with the dress that you are wearing or your night dress or nothing. Because it's the way, if it was in the middle of night, maybe you had nothing, but you are thrown out and a neighbor will give you a sheet. It has happened.
Yes.
But when you come out, God help you, you come out with your children and you come out alive. You come out with nothing.
Yes.
Maybe you have even properties, you come out with nothing.
I know.
And it doesn't matter what you have put in there. And you will get no sympathy whatsoever. Not from our community, not from but the perpetrator gets a lot of sympathy. That is the way our communities are structured. So I came out in the same way. I didn't have a thing. Even we still have we had a home in Nairobi. I didn't get anything.
Oh my God.
Even though most probably my resources are the ones that are there than anybody else's. But I'm grateful to have come out alive.
Man.
And then you start facing life. And also you go with the children. And also, as it happens, I talk a lot about my community because it's the one community fathers are happy to see their children starving because they are no longer with the mom. So you just come out and start living. Not start living. Maybe you don't even know where to start. But fortunately, I was here. I stayed in the refuge for 4 months. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me because I met people from different backgrounds. And I also met people who, for once, I had it said loud and clear, it is not okay for you to be abused. For once, I had that. And
because before all you knew is you got to wait, you got to persevere. That is how we have gone through. That is how our mom's gone through. You really have to be that strong woman.
Yes.
Whether you are hit, it's only a slap. Whether you are abused, whether you are denied money, whether you are denied sexually because of these abuses, it's okay. You are told it's okay.
So it's made normal. It's normalized. It's rationalized. It's excused. It's explained. It is all right. We are saying it is all right. And that is when we notice that it is happening. Most of the time, we choose not to notice. In fact, you hear screams from your neighbor's house, and because it happens often, so we know if that is Elizabeth and her husband, and it takes no notice. Who cares?
I know it used to happen so much in Geshagi. When we were back home in the village, you could hear that night, woo,
Imagine.
They say, that's okay. That's okay. It's him.
That's okay.
The next night, and nobody was bothered.
Nobody was bothered. And
especially, I look back and I remember so many, we used to hear screams. And then the next morning, people would say, that was at that range. That was Joroge's house. That was it's just them and the husband. And it's not,
and
it's not.
They know that you are not fighting. They know you are being assaulted. I'll call it the right word. You're being assaulted. But the community is happy to go on sleeping. In fact, they say in front of the children. I remember I have had such talk when I was a kid. And it's so and so. So it's okay. We are saying even to our generations, it is okay. That is how we become custodians of the evils in our society. We normalize them, we pass them to our children, and they pass them, and it goes on and on.
While we are still here, Abby, it's very important to mention to people what you told me. When you talk about abuse, it's not just, as we thought abuse is only the fight. Here we think, it's only our communities. Even here, there is the sexual abuse, there is when somebody doesn't talk to you, yet you're in the same house, you're in the same room, you're married, or maybe financially he's not giving you the right finances, or maybe all these things, people think abuse is only hitting, and those are even worse. Sometimes I would rather have somebody slap me and then that pain will go, other than those are the silent things that they will do without even uttering a word. So the reason why I'm saying this is because people say abuse is only in our community.
Councillor, I'm asking, is that you saying that you'd rather be slapped? Or is it somebody saying that?
No, somebody else, not me.
Okay. Yes, I have had that one. But what people forget is by the time you are getting a slap, most likely you have got all the other forms.
Emotional abuse, I can see Faith Pin come.
You've been emotionally abused in that house. You've been financially abused in that house. You've been neglected. Somebody went and drank their salary. They drank yours too. And you're there with the kids with no food, with no clothes. You've been neglected.
Forced to do everything.
You've been denied needs. Keeping quiet. Keeping quiet is called Cold War. And some people even try to spiritualize it, like, oh, I didn't shoot anyone because I'm a bit unhappy. It's better I keep to myself. And you are quiet in that house for 1 week or 1 month, and the woman and the child, your wife and your children are tiptoeing around you. They don't know what this silence means, or it will come out with what. And it is meant to torment them. It's meant to intimidate them. It's meant to make them uncomfortable. And that is abuse. And it is called Cold War. It may be cold, it may be warm, or it may be hot. Whatever it is, it is war.
And people don't realize that it is war, it is abuse.
It is abuse. We are meant to stay in. Okay, for those who are believers, our Lord, again referring to Malachi chapter 2, it says that he is the one who came with the covenant of peace and equity.
Yes.
Equity doesn't mean equality. I'm not a fanatic of equality in any wise.
Yes.
Because it doesn't work. But I believe in equity. Equity is justice. Everyone have their needs met. Because we cannot say like here, or a bit, unfortunately, a lot of places are like that. You are in a wheelchair, you are disabled, but we put stairs everywhere. You can do what you like, but this world is for able persons.
Yes.
You who need a lift, you who are in wheelchair, is your own problem. If you can't get to a building, that's your own problem. We don't care. That is inequity. It almost sounds like sin, iniquity.
Yes.
But it's lack of equity. Inequity, or when resources are equitable, it means everyone gets their need met. Do you need more food? Is it available? Yes, get more food. But it's not like this is daddy's plate. We have a famine, but daddy's plate must be full the way we always know it is full. And everybody else, no Maria Mekura, no make your we don't care. But daddy's plate must be full. That is abuse. Because your tummy will be full as the man or as the woman or whoever holds the button in that house, the power buttons.
Yes.
But everyone else will be starving. Let the resources in our homes be divided equitably. And now, I'm not even talking about men, because this 2021, it happens that a lot of women now have got economic power.
Of course.
And I would also submit to you that you may have the power buttons today, but tomorrow you may not have the power buttons.
Absolutely.
And he who kills with the sword will die by the sword.
By the sword,
So you set the parameters in your household that whoever has the power buttons, they exploit everyone else. Now, you lived in Nairobi as the man. You didn't care to educate these kids. Mama here was struggling. Mafuti was going for labor to feed these kids. They grew up. They didn't go to school, but they are living their lives. And who do you think they are going to look after? And then you come and complain, oh, Shianaishi, these kids, they only look after their mom. But you didn't look after them when you needed to look after them. You did not make a relationship with them when you needed to make a relationship. Time.
Yes.
So the reason we are in a family is for relationship, to nurture the individuals in that family.
Absolutely.
And our children, bring out my best, nurture my dreams, let me realize my dreams, support my dreams, I support yours. But now it became the wrestling place, it became the competition place. We are supposed to be one and forge forward as one. Even if you have a problem like how, and you are forging together, you will overcome.
Wow.
But everyone for his own, you are set for disaster. And I can tell you there are no winners. There are no winners in that. Everyone is going to be a loser. You have your dreams curtailed. He will have his dreams curtailed. And your children also, except for the grace of God, you will have your generation, your whole generations completely curtailed, completely destroyed, just because one person was very selfish in that relationship.
Right. Can I take you back quickly? Because I know how God, this topic is so interesting. Now, okay, you are in your refuge. I still want to follow your story as you continue. Yes, it's really empowering. And I thank God for you. And so many of the comments coming up from all my viewers is, that's a very bold woman. And we are so grateful. And we thank God for her life. You are in the refuge. I would like to know about your children, because how old was the first one, first of all?
He was 12.
Okay. When they came to you, when you know, eventually when they joined you, you haven't told us how you managed to get them. Maybe that one is not you. If you'd like to share, were they shocked to find their mom disfigured? You know, because those of you who do not know, those of you who are joining us for the first time, last week Abby shared that was not her shape, her nose, and all that. It was beaten by the husband, and the ear, that's an artificial one, and you wouldn't see her face was all disfigured. So. And actually, even your family, how did it go? How did they take that? I mean, I would like to know the reaction from.
They were shocked. They were really shocked. But I did send pictures before just to prepare them a little bit to lessen the shock, and got somebody to talk to them. So kind of prepare them a little bit, because they were supposed to be coming with the father. My son tells me how they were expecting to come any day, and then they would see the aircrafts coming and they would say, our mom must be in that one.
Oh my God.
And then I didn't come. And they didn't see their father as well. And then eventually they saw that they were removed from the home and they were taken somewhere else. There was a space of 2 weeks. Why? Because the visas now that he had, the young ones were on his passport. You see, we were doing this thing, everything with
together.
Him. Yeah. So we had to go back to basics, get new passports, get new visas, and that took time. And eventually, 2 weeks, they came to me.
Right. There's a question as you go on. One of our viewers is asking, you realize, especially in our community, especially the Kenyan community, the father-child relationships in our community is in shambles. What do you think should be done? What can you say about this? Because there isn't that good relationship between fathers and their children. Most of them have abandoned their responsibilities. They are absent fathers. Do you think that's affecting even our children, especially the boy child?
Yes, that is
absent fathers,
problem, and it affects generations because when kids are growing without a father, they need that person to model. So they have no role model. They just forge life. They forge life, and you are alive. If you are dead, we can understand.
Yes,
but if you are alive, that is a different thing. We need to start working. That is what kind of surprises me, because in our community, and some of these things are traditional, but we need to wash out so we don't take everything that tradition teaches us, because we are growing.
That's it.
Culture is growing.
That is evolve. We have to evolve and change. Yeah, that's
and
what Bishop, my husband Bishop, talks about evolving. Changes.
Yes. If you are not growing with the culture, you want to behave the way your great grandfather used to behave in those years. And you are an educated man. You are here in 2020.
Which brings us. Hang on now. There is a comment there and a question. A viewer, Nyabura, is asking, I think the economic empowerment of women in 2021 has given rise to increased femicide. What do you think?
I don't think that is what is given rise to increased femicide. Personally. I think it's just that, okay, if somebody is empowered, okay, let's say there is economic empowerment.
Yes.
There is education as well. Once you are educated, of course I don't see things the way my great grandmother grandma used to see them.
Yes. We're different.
And that is why we go to school. So and this is not, I'm not talking about the white man's school. Even the school that we had before the white man came, which was by oral literature, we used to learn. But now we don't go and sit and learn that.
Yes.
We learn a different thing. But whatever education you have, if you have a good education, education, it doesn't even matter what education you have.
Yes.
What matters is that it trains you to see things in a different way.
Yes.
And to question the status quo. Yes. Now, what we don't want to do, we don't want to question the status quo. So
we want things to go blindly.
We want things to remain the way they were 100 years ago. The checks and the balances that were there, they are not there. The things that used to work then, they don't work now.
Yes.
For example, there are people who let's say like now, we are talking, we can talk to 500,000 people here in a meeting. If you want to talk to people and you decide it must be face to face, because you think technology is evil and you want to live like the way your grandpa lived, what are you going to achieve in 2021? Actually, in COVID time, you are just going to be locked up in your house with your wife.
Yes.
Not even seeing your neighbor. But now I can see the counselor, I can see how many hundreds of people here, and we can communicate, we can do things, we can do business, we can do so many things. You have to grow with the time.
Yes.
And I'm not saying you take everything.
Yes.
You question and you take the good and learn.
Absolutely.
And also would leave it. And let your life be better because of the facilities that are there. So what has happened is what I said before. Economic and empowerment and education is not the cause of the femicide.
Yes.
The cause is just that the people who this oppression has been learning in for so many years are not happy to say yes. this is how it has always been since Maenzia.
We are not ready for change.
So there is changes due, change is here, and whether you like it or not, change is going to happen.
We have to embrace the changes.
But there are people who are stuck. They don't want the change. They want the status quo. My question is, when the women were not empowered, what were the men doing? They were doing everything.
Of course.
You are sustaining. You are the one income and you are sustaining the whole family. Why do you want now to have a woman who goes out to work, but you don't want to take any responsibility? You are still a little kid. You come and put one leg over the other one. And
you start placing orders.
Yes, like a hotel. Your poor woman is asking, you want tea? The baby is crying. What are you doing? I didn't think like that then. I think like that now.
I love this. You didn't think like that then. You think like that now. And by the way, my viewers, I want to put a disclaimer here. We are not here to advocate for women to rebel. Okay? We are advocating. I want to put this clearly that we are advocating for healthy relationships. And I know every Saturday, my husband, Bishop, talks about this a lot. He doesn't advocate for those men who are, for example, in diaspora, where most women are working, the husband is working. He tells them, when you come, support each other. And there's no harm in even you helping your wife to change the diapers, if you're cooking, if you're all these things. It's shared responsibility as long as there's that understanding, as long as there's communication, as long as I don't come and sit down and start ordering him, go and change the diapers, go and, but when there's mutual communication, he doesn't even have to be told. He will look at you, and sometimes he'll tell you, darling, do you want to sit down or do the cooking? Darling, do you want I can do the change the children and know that. But traditionally, this was not expected. I mean, we are evolving, like we said, we are changing. Okay, Abby,
what makes a healthy relationship? What makes a healthy relationship is what you have said.
Yes.
One is communication. There need to be empathy.
Yes.
If it was you who worked all day, you are standing on your toes. And you come, you have to minister to the spouse, you have to cook, you have to feed the babies, you have to wash clothes. In fact, at least here we have machine, you just throw them in. But imagine you are the one who has, there is nothing as good as empathy is putting yourself in the other person's
shoes.
And if you are not happy for that to be your portion, why would you want somebody else to have that? Even God says, love the other person as you love yourself.
Of course, yes.
And the measure of that, are you happy to have what you are placing on somebody else? Here in diaspora, we have added problem because I would like just to mention that. And it is a bigger it's a very big problem. Most men actually leave women with their little kids and they go home because they have nostalgia of how life is in Nairobi. You do nothing, you just there and you lord it over everyone and you get served by everyone. But here, who will serve you? Now, Gary, you took the baby in a basket if you want family. Baby, basket, and keys. Why do you want to get a motimia work? You left it with your wife, she took the key and the baby and the car, and you got into a shift. And then she come home. And that is the way you alternate.
Yes.
If you don't talk, you are never gonna have any family matters. Neither family relations, which will be very frustrating. And at the end of the day, you just find that that thing does not exist anymore. Even if you loved each other, how? They will just die.
Now, Going back to your story now, do you, that's kind of very personal, but allow me to ask. When I was doing my master's, I was told there is never a stupid question. There's never a stupid question. It depends on how you perceive that. Is there a moment you look back and you regret your relationship? You regret having gotten into that relationship?
Yes, I do. I wouldn't lie to you, I do. Having come this far, why wouldn't I? I can't sit here and lie. Oh, yeah.
But you've got lovely kids there. You look back and you say, oh,
I separate the kids from the last
I
relationship.
want to hear that.
The truth is, I could have gotten kids
anywhere.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, thank you. Don't go ahead.
No,
People, because you know why, Abby, you know why I'm saying this. Some people stick into nasty relationships and they say, I'm doing this for my kids.
I did that for so many years. But I want to submit to everybody. It's even better for kids to grow up with one parent than in a toxic relationship. You completely finish your children in that relationship. The irony is you are staying for them.
Yes.
But you are completely destroying them. Because, you know, it doesn't matter what weapons you have. Let's say you are the strong one in this world and you have bombs. At the end of the day, when you fight, those bombs will be destroyed. Some people even fight with their kids and for their kids and name it. But the end of it is that they will be destroyed. So we need to be aware of that. Yes, I regret. Of course I do. Because I didn't want to go through what I went through. I don't regret having my kids at any moment. I thank God for my kids. I love my kids so much, and they are the best thing that ever happened to me.
I saw their comments, and I was so pleased, especially your son putting, "Mommy, we love you. You are a star." I mean, all this. I know this is a bit, like I say, I like delving into, but if it's too personal, you said you had 4 kids and one went to be with the Lord.
Yeah.
How old was that child, and was it here?
He was there? 2. He was 2 years. He was
that was
2 years.
That was in Botswana.
Yeah.
May he continue, she or he continue resting in peace.
Yes.
Now we are coming to the end of our show tonight, and things can only get better because people are learning, people are being inspired, people are being motivated. Beacon of Hope, that is why we come here. And I repeat, we do not want to mess or to ruin any marriages at all. We are speaking this so that we can have healthy relationships, and we are almost coming to the end. And please, kindly, if you don't mind, I would request you kindly to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that this message of Abby, I would like this message to be heard far and wide. Don't just keep it to yourself. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you share on our Facebook page, other friends who are not my friends, who are not Abby's friends and friends of friends, will hear this because we want to help somebody. Abby says she wants to speak out because she would never want anybody else to go through what she went through. She speaks out as an advocate of healthy relationships. She has nothing against marriages. She has nothing against relationships, but healthy. Because that
healthy
relationships. And that is why her topic is always positive. She told me in advance, please don't tell me to speak domestic abuse. Please let me talk about healthy relationships. And that is what we are doing. Abby, as we come almost, she's sorting out. So please, my dears, share. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. She was doing things in the house. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, and invite other friends. Share widely. And I'm inviting my sister Abby now. We come to the end, or it's past. I don't want to be blocked out. So
I just want to say one quick thing before we go.
Yes,
so
please.
What are you going to do about it? It is a problem. We acknowledge it's a big problem. What are you going to do about it? We need everybody on board.
Yes.
As an individual, as a family, as an individual, what are you going to do? Are you the one who feel like hitting someone, or you are already hitting anyone? It can turn ugly, and it is not worth it. So you can turn things around, seek help, and get things sorted. The earlier you do that, the better. You need to seek help. Even if you are the perpetrator, you can seek help and you can be helped. You can be empowered. It doesn't make you a great person when you are crushing a small person.
Yes.
I'm saying that in the sense that there's power issues here. That's why. So don't use your power to crush the powerless. As a family or as another individual, don't, if you say nothing when oppression is happening, you are as bad as the oppressor. You are siding with the oppressor. As a family, you are a brother. Are you ready to have your sister come home with her kids should the need be there? And I'm not saying that that is how it should be, but because the thing is, if you are afraid that the little 4 acres, your 2 brothers, your sister comes in the picture, even your interventions will be half-hearted. You can't help these people. Your aim will be to maintain this girl in the wherever she got married. Then you have peace. You have 2 acres each. I'm just giving an example. As a father, are you happy to support your daughters? As a mother, are you happy to support your children from age 0? Growing, knowing that this is not okay to happen to me. So that when the red flags start happening, you have reassured your daughter you are good, you are whole. And we need people who are whole to go into a relationship, not to go and try to find wholeness there. It's 2 whole people make 1.
That's right.
So you have to be whole and you go and make 1 with another whole person. Because when we say there may be background which is coming to cause problems. So let's deal with our backgrounds. Let us seek help if we need help.
Yes.
As a community, how are we going? We need to change our whole perspective about family. As a community, how many times I hear on a graduation and the mother is saying, like you have achieved all this, but it's nothing. So your daughter will only be a person and she has achieved when she brings somebody home. Why would she bring anybody home?
Parents, are we listening to this?
Just
are we listening to this?
As a nation,
where is she?
As a nation, we need structures. And the structures I'm talking about are not refugees. How many refugees are we gonna build to feed the women who are going through the abuse? We need to rethink these things. We need to find a solution that works. And it's not a cure-all solution because it doesn't work. It's good we are saying a different thing is the start. It's a good start. At least someone was brave to say, if it is not working, you need to acknowledge and you need to do something about it.
Yes.
But what are the options? What options do I have? Like me and my husband have taken loans. It is in that family home we have built. Am I ready to take my 3 children and go and live in Mathare slums? Am I ready to sacrifice my children's education? Kenya, you pay for education and medicine and everything. Am I ready to go and, because my loans I used to pay them for 3 years. So if it is a case of Kiraroga now, and my loans are tied to this home, and I go with the kids and I'll get no support whatsoever, I am trying to trigger us to think about what options do we have? What option does that girl have?
Yes.
Is it to go to her family home? Is it to go to the street with her kids? Is it to go to the slums? what are the options?
Options, yeah.
And even then, no allowed middle. She's still being stalked. She's
Yes.
still being threatened. In fact, she is more danger there, out there, than anywhere else.
Oh,
we
dear.
have work to do. And everyone can do something. The only crime and the only sin is to do nothing. Is to do nothing. So I'm starting very basic. I'm saying something. When you see an evil going on, you say nothing. You know you are as bad as the person who is doing that.
Wow.
Not when people are dying. Not when our daughters are dying. And you may think it doesn't affect you. The fire in your neighbor's house. You don't do anything about it. It's a matter of time before it becomes the fire in your house. That is what we have now. It has escalated. It has boiled out. It has affected every person here. Knows someone who has been, whose life has been devastated, and it devastates both the perpetrator and the victim and their children. And our everyone has work to do, and you can do a lot. We can do a lot. We start by being aware, by acknowledging, no, it's not right. We need healthier relationships. And if it is not a healthy relationship, then I need something else. I deserve better.
It's not worth it if it's not a healthy one.
It's not worth it. That kind of thing.
I love that comment that Lois Joroge, my sister pastor, that's a very important point. How well have you prepared your daughter to bring you a model? How well have you prepared your son? We need to do that. Right now, unfortunately, my viewers, unfortunately, we have to bring this to a close. I have a very, very, very tight program ahead of me, and I have absolutely enjoyed the talks. And you know what? It's not over because Abby still wants to continue talking to people. And you can see she still has a lot. So we are arranging another future program with her because we agreed we have to expose this. We have to talk to people. And because she is here, yes, somebody is already asking. My sister Jane Kageva is saying, next time. And Caroline Karanja, my daughter, is saying, whoa, I was late. Follow that, and Abby is coming back. Abby is prepared to talk to people. This is a platform we have set so that we can help families, and like we said, advocating for healthy relationships. Now, just the next 2 minutes, Abby, do you want to talk about your books, please, so that people can know where to get them and still? Oh, that reminds me.
My
2 minutes now. Somebody is beckoning me now.
Short and quick. My book is called More Than Just a Face by Abby Mombi, and that is the whole testimony. You get so much riches in that. It is in Amazon. It's selling in the UK for £12 plus postage. You can get in touch with me. My Facebook is Maggie Mutahi. You can inbox me, and also you can go and check out my YouTube, which is Abby Mombi. It's a baby one. It's work in progress, but go and press that button. I'll be bringing stuff there, talks, especially this one that is in my heart. And I'm just saying, let us talk about it. So get the book. It's a testimony by itself, and it is the testimony of my life journey, and it will encourage you. It will build you. It will give you hope. I have got very good feedback of it. So I
know we need to talk after this. Now, my viewers, I wish we could
Thank you.
but we definitely must have Abby, because the idea is not just it's not just a joke. We really need to talk about this. And because I've got this platform, I don't mind hosting Abby. We'll talk about this next week. Is booked Friday, we've got another program with young people. And please, please, please keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on my notifications. I do always put that on Facebook. I do send the notification. I do send the upcoming programs. And please, 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 we've got so much lined up this summer. You cannot afford to miss this. You cannot. And definitely during this summer, we must have another talk show with our sister Moby, because there is a lot. There is a lot that, you can see she's loaded and she's ready to offload. She's ready to offload and share with as many people, be it parents, be it young people. Her teaching or her talks goes beyond the teenagers, goes beyond mothers. It all goes beyond fathers. We all need to hear these stories and get prepared for healthy relationships. It could be you planning to get married. It could be your children. It could be your sister. It could be your friend. It could be a neighbor. This is all for everybody. It could be you going through this. And here we are with tips on healthy relationships. Watch out for the next episode. Till next Friday, my viewers. I am so glad that we had you tonight. I really appreciate that you had the time to be with us, even when we were late. And you see, we've stayed up so late. We appreciate you. We thank God for your lives. And tomorrow night, don't forget, we have Bishop with family program of Beacon of Hope. And then on Sunday, I did say we've gone back to church now, our service starting from 1:30. Please do join us if you're anywhere near Barking in Dagenham. We are meeting at the Vibe Youth Center, Beacon Tree. Till next week on Friday. Keep an eye on this. We've got so much lined up for you. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your summer, enjoy your morning. I can see people like Jokwa Westlands and my daughter Mirasha all the way in US. I can see people in Kenya. I can see so many viewers from UK, all over Kenya. Please, once again, as we leave, share. Let other people hear this, because it's a message that needs to be heard far and wide. Once again, this has been your show, Beacon of Hope, with my guest, Moby, Abby, this beautiful lady who is ready to change lives. God bless you, my dear. Will you keep in touch and keep an eye? People say next time. I can see next time. You have no choice. You have to come back. Good night. Next week is my anniversary. I'm enjoying my wedding anniversary. So keep an eye on that too. Keep an eye on that too. So till next time, my dear. God bless you and we love you.
Bless you, everybody. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And food for thought.
Thank you. You keep an eye.
Bye.
Right, viewers, this has been your show, Beacon of Hope Friday special edition. And tonight, just you heard with our guest, Abby Moby. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope Beacon. And once again, before I leave, send money back to Kenya, send money to friends and family the best way. Tap. This morning I did send, and I know we have the highest rates. And if you've got any issues, contact me. Tap is the best way. It's the easiest, it's cheap, it's convenient, it's trusted, it's reliable. We have the highest rate of exchange and instant money to transfer to M-Pesa and to the banks. Tap. Till next time. God bless you. We love you. It's Councillor Elizabeth Kang'ethe, the Mrs. Bishop BK, signing off from a secret place.
Niaje wase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Tumakitu.
Tumakitu. Good night. God bless you. Thank you. Till next time.